Welcome back to Stagedoor Podcast. I think it's number 7.
I have no idea. It's been too long. We've been vacationing.
We have. We took a little time off.
Yeah, we still enjoy our families.
Yeah.
Mostly. From time to time.
I went to New Hampshire.
Ooh.
It was beautiful over there.
Yeah.
Now, when I got there, it was like 95 degrees, which I was very
That's not much of a vacation.
I know. That, where is New
like
Hampshire? Like all the way in the corner, right?
Yeah.
Right by...
right next to Maine.
Right next to Maine.
And Vermont. And
right.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, I love Vermont. So I went there expecting it to be a little cooler.
Yeah.
And it was so hot.
You're sweating your balls off.
I was like, am I in the right place? But it cooled off like after the second day. Then it in the mornings.
Yeah.
In the mornings, but in the afternoon it got to like 80 something like that. So it was
not bad.
It was nice. So I went out there because one of my friends from back in the day, we used to be in a band called Noisy Boys.
I remember
Noisy Boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So every 5 or 6 years, he kind of has a reunion. Mm-hmm. And he gets the band together, or he tries to get the band together.
We're getting the band back together, man.
So, like, the last time we did it, we've actually done it 3 times. The first time we went to, I think in California somewhere, if I remember correctly.
Did you do one in Texas?
No, that was a corporate event, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, so we did one in California. The other one was in Minnesota. It was, yeah, because we do these things, but they're like, he combines them into like
like a retreat type thing.
Well, no, one of them was a true like a like get the band together thing. Yeah. And then this last one and the one before was a high school reunion.
Oh,
so we played for the high school reunion.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. Everybody was into the music we were playing, which was 80s, but we were an original band. So I had to relearn all our own songs from back in the day.
You're like, I was a terrible lyricist back then.
So it was kind of cool, to kind of play those songs.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I'm on stage, singing these songs that I wrote like 35 years ago. I'm like, why am I singing these songs?
You're like, oh my god.
And then I'm thinking, well, you know what? I'm singing these Journey songs. They're like 50 years old.
That's true. They're older.
Yeah, they're older.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was interesting. So the last one, this couple, when was that? A couple months ago, right? 2-3 months ago.
Oh yeah.
So the original guitar player could not be there. So Mario went with us.
Mario. We love Mario.
Mario's filled in for Rockafly.
Oh yeah,
a couple times, and
we've done stuff with him.
We've done stuff
for
with
his
him
corporate things.
Yeah, corporate stuff, and he was a guitar player for Espada.
Oh, that's right.
Spanish rock band Espada, and so he went out there to help out. So thank you, Mario, because I don't think it would have happened if you couldn't make it.
That's a tough gig to pull off.
Yeah, because you need the guitar player. So you have to learn those songs too. Those old songs, Noisy Boys songs. So I'll post a picture of what Noisy Boys look like. We were like the pretty boys.
You don't say.
We wear makeup, not like Poison makeup. Like look like a chick makeup. Yeah. Not like a slut like Poison.
More like Motley Crue.
Yeah, a little less.
Before Theater of Pain.
Yes, before Theater of Pain. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
The guy liner. And maybe a little stuff on the cheeks. Just to
yeah,
do that
exactly.
whole thing.
So it went good.
That's cool.
The weather finally, it was a good, after the show and everything, it was a good vacation. Chris, the one who puts all this together, he has he has a house over there and he let us stay there.
Awesome.
Like a, Airbnb type thing.
Yeah.
So we had a great time.
That's awesome.
I just wish it would have been colder because I like the. I know you don't like the cold weather.
Cold weather.
I like the cold weather.
Cold weather sucks.
No, it's good.
Freaking nipples hard.
What's wrong with that?
I don't want mine hard. I want hers hard.
But anyway.
Well, so
what did you do during that time?
So you wished it was cooler where you were, and I wish it was cooler where I was. I went to Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
So it was my first time in Vegas, and one of the things everybody would tell you when you go there is like, oh, it's a dry heat. And I'm like, that's just dumb. It's triple digits. It's hot. Well, now I know.
Yeah.
So someone in our group made the analogy of when you're cooking Thanksgiving and you first open the...
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
That's correct.
I was like, dear Lord, it was 105 every day.
Yeah.
One of the Uber drivers said a month earlier there was a 5-day stretch where it was 122.
Holy cow.
One day it got to 125. They're telling people to stay in the house.
Yeah.
You imagine like going to the hospital.
It's like an oven, right? You're just walking into an oven.
Your freaking insides are burbling and ugh. So it was cool. We went for a friend's 50th birthday. There was a group of us. Did some cool things. They had booked an excursion to go do some kayaking.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't go.
I was going to say, how did that go?
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't go out there to work. So
can you swim? Do you know how to swim?
Oh, I know how to swim.
Oh, okay.
I'm like freaking Johnny Weissmuller. That was the first Tarzan. One of the first Tarzans.
Okay.
Anyway, I know. Gray hair, old. So they did that. I did a little exploring. Went to Caesar's Palace. Saw where Evel Knievel jumped the fountains back in '69. Saw where the Rat Pack performed, and just little things like that. You know, it was a cool thing to do. So hot, so many people, but it was a good experience. I wouldn't mind going back there. And it was a short vacation, and then there was something else that came up around the same time, and I believe it was you going somewhere else.
Was that during that time? I don't remember.
Well, there's a lot of texting between you and I.
Yeah.
And even though you couldn't see me, I was doing this in the text. I was doing this in the text. So there's a little story that we're going to get to hear from Mr. Pedro.
Yeah, I'm still spinning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the fan. It's reflecting
the
in the
fan.
thing, and it feels like I'm spinning.
Well, you've had vertigo for like
a month,
3 weeks, 4 weeks,
almost a month.
Yeah, so that's probably why.
I don't know.
And this experience,
yes,
that you vacationed in.
Yeah.
So,
well, that was after my real vacation in New Hampshire.
Right.
That was after that.
Yeah. It wasn't really a vacation.
No, this was not a vacation.
Because you were way too stressed to be vacationing.
Oh my God. So here's what happened. So a friend of ours, a good friend of ours.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Blando.
He'll
be on the show, by the way.
Oh, good.
Coming up. Yep.
I had a text with him, and he's going to be here in December.
Awesome.
So I think they're taking a break. Slaughter's taking a break the whole month in December. So hopefully we'll be able to do something in December. Hopefully.
Awesome.
So he sent me a text out of the blue. I was just on my computer here working on songs, recording on or writing new songs, and I get this text, and he's like, "Hey, I'm friends. I have a connection with Skid Row."
You're like, cool.
I'm like, okay, well, good for you.
Yeah.
Bye. And he's like, they're still looking for a singer. Are you interested? I was like, I don't know if I'm interested. I just saw that. I was like, wow, that's like an out of the blue thing.
Yeah,
I would never expect something like that.
That's not something you can prepare for with a response like, yeah, sure.
Right.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I couldn't really process that. Really, initially, I was just like, that's too much work.
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't know what their history, initially, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know, let me run this by Emmett. So I sent you a text and I said, hey, look at this. What do you think about this? You were like, well, I was like, it is Skid Row.
I'm like, you should go for it.
So it made me think. It made me stop and think. Because I'm always on the go. I'm not really thinking. I'm just on autopilot, writing songs and recording, doing things. But so after I sent you that text, and you're like, well, it is Skid Row. And I thought about it, and so then I went online. There you go. I went online and I started listening to all their hits and all their songs, and the songs I never heard. I mean, I probably heard them back in the day.
Oh yeah.
But I started listening to them again. I was like, wow, these are really good songs.
They're freaking great songs.
And then I was like, wow. I was like, well, I mean, if opportunity pops up, I think you should always take it.
You would be remiss to not at least try.
Right.
Because it could always be subconsciously somewhere in the back of your mind is like, what if?
Right. What if I would?
What if regret will kill any?
That's true.
Yeah, just go for it.
So I said, sure, why not? And I guess he had sent the band.
He asked for some videos, right?
Yeah, he asked for some videos. Mm-hmm. That the videos online of me singing, Steel Heart. Or whatever.
Sure.
So he had sent those videos over, and Skid Row have been watching them, and they like them, and they're like, that's really cool. We'd like to, we're interested, basically.
Yeah.
They, not in those words, but they were
right.
They were looking at the videos, and they were like, oh, okay,
yeah.
he could probably sing this song. And I have like I Remember You, one of the videos. I think
that one is the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
The one I remember.
Yeah. Sorry. So and I had sent some live videos of Rocketfly doing like Monkey Business and stuff like that.
Sure.
So he sent the videos and they were interested, but I didn't hear anything. So time went on, like weeks went by.
It did. I was just like, I'd send him a text to be like, Sue.
Well, actually, before that, before
you get something from a manager or something,
right? So then I get a call. I get a call from the manager. Because Blando said, is it okay if I get your number? And I said, sure. So I get a call from management. They're like, hey, Skid Row is interested. They like your voice and like your look, whatever. Are you interested? And I'm like, yeah. At this point, I'm like, holy cow, this is really happening.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I have never ever auditioned for anything.
Right.
Like when I started as a kid, I just basically got with friends and we kind of got, and I just been from band to band. I never had to audition for anything.
Yeah.
So this is completely weird for me, And by the way, for those of you out there that say you should go to The Voice and American Idol, no, that is not me. I will never do something like that. Especially that's like TV. That's all BS. That's all scripted. That's all, But I mean, that's basically what it is. You're auditioning.
Yeah.
So I was, in my mind, I was creating these things like, oh my God, is there going to be like the whole management team there? Is there going to be other singers there? I was just thinking that.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like you taking the call. How hard was it to go? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
Sure, whatever.
I was like, I don't know. This may be way too much trouble. What I'm getting.
It might
into.
be, but you have to try.
Yeah. So I said, at this point, I hadn't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just okay. Fine, I'll give it a try, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So they send me 4 songs for their hits to sing, like karaoke. Karaoke tracks or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I record.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm a perfectionist. I was not happy with my recordings at all. That's why I sent them to you. I was like...
Yeah, and I hated to say it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to say it. And it was really hard to type out what I was typing because... everybody that knows us and has seen us perform knows the guy can freaking sing the alphabet. But there's like a little something, and I'm like, and I was pretty like, succinct, and it's like, at the 146 mark, there's a little, and little things like that.
You're being really anal.
I was.
I understand. I mean, I'm a Skid Row fan too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When I sang, I mean, they sounded good.
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
It was just I was being so picky about.
You were.
Because when you sent back those things, like I know, It's like, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't want to go back and do it because I'm gonna mess it up. So anyway, so I was like, I to be honest, I was thinking the caliber of singers that must be in line for this must be crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So I was just like, I recorded the songs, but I didn't really spend that much time. I could hear the things that bothered me, but I was like, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna send it, whatever.
Well, another way to look at it is they're gonna hear this, they're gonna know I'm human.
Right. Yeah.
No, just hey, this is one take.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And they're probably listening to see if you can sing, see if you can hit the notes, see what the tone of your voice,
and there was no problem there at all.
Yeah, no, it sounded fine.
Yeah,
it was just I'm comparing with the Sebastian Bach, and I'm listening to all the little swirls that he does.
The 19-year-old
Sebastian Bach. So I was trying to make it as close as possible, and I got pretty close. I think it sounded pretty good.
It sounded great,
but I wasn't happy with it.
No, and
I to them,
and I know you weren't, and that's why I was like, no, there's this little spot, and I don't know.
I don't think anybody would have noticed it.
No, of course not. I had my freaking earphones on. I'm like,
well, we grew up with these songs,
right?
So when you listen to it, you know exactly what's coming. So if you don't hear
it's all the intricacies.
Yeah.
It's everything, and it's not like Sebastian went in there the first time and went,
right? Yeah, exactly.
I remember or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I send them in, and like, I don't know, almost a month went by.
Silence.
It was silence. I was just like, okay, well, that was it.
Crickets.
I was like, well, I did my thing, and I was skipped over, and I'm fine with it. I mean, I wasn't upset or anything.
No.
I was just curious. I was just like, well, I mean, are they going to say no? Are they going to say okay or anything?
Yeah, don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what was happening.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I just forgot about it and continued back with the Rockafly,
of course,
writing. Yeah. Then,
dun, dun, dun.
Out of the blue, I get an email. And the email says, hey, we're holding auditions in Nashville for the singing spot.
Yeah.
There's like, they give like 2 weeks. So are you available any time there? And I was like, we happen to be off.
Yeah, we were.
For 3 weeks.
Yeah.
During that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh.
As a matter of fact, I am.
No. I was debating. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go through this. This is probably going to be too stressful or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, sure. And I accepted. The dates were set. I'm like, okay, the flights are booked to this day, and this is what we're going to do. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
You're like, this is really happening.
Yeah. So
they
sent
booked flights.
So I had to learn 8 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I added 2 more. So I wanted, like, you know me.
Yeah,
I needed an even number,
Yeah.
So I got a set. I learned it. So for those 3 weeks, the first week I'm just listening to the songs because for me they were new. Even though I knew of the songs, some of those songs I wasn't that familiar with. So I had to get familiar with the songs before I even start memorizing the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
And those lyrics are tough. Skid Row lyrics are really difficult too.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses has some weird lyrics.
Yeah.
But at least the Skid Row lyrics make sense. The Guns N' Roses, like, Paradise City, what the hell is he talking about?
Talking about the dorm room I visited in college.
No.
I've never been to college.
But anyway, I had a hard time memorizing the Skid Row lyrics because they're like books. There's a lot of lyrics in there. So the first week, I was just memorizing the lyrics and getting used to the songs. And then I was singing them. I started singing them a little bit. Yeah. Because singing Skid Row, it's way different than singing like Journey.
Oh, sure.
The way that you sing, the way that you have to use a throat, and Sebastian uses a lot of like rasp and stuff like that. So I was trying to match that, and I was getting it. I thought I got it pretty good during that week. Mm-hmm. Second week, I get sick. I get like a cold or flu, something like that, or the next variant, whatever, the next BS. So it was just a cold. It was just a freaking cold. So I was like, so I couldn't do much for that week. Mm-hmm. So then I started getting nervous. I'm like, okay, I've been sick for a week. And normally it takes me after I get sick like 2-3 weeks to, to get all the
to get back to normal,
and I was just like, oh my god,
snot and all the other crap that's in your throat.
It's like, are you kidding me? This is not happening right now. I have to like fly out in 2 weeks at that point, and I'm sick, and now I'm getting stressed, right?
Yeah. Oh, and there's a hurricane coming too.
And there's a hurricane coming. That's right. That was that following week. So I was just like, what the fuck?
Just pile on more piling on.
I couldn't believe it. At this point, I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I should just call and say, forget it. I'm just gonna back out.
Yeah.
There's just too much shit happening, and I'm just, now I'm fighting to get this going. Instead of, it should be something enjoyable or exciting.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
At that point, it wasn't, man. I was sick, and I'm trying to get the songs in my head and trying to sing them correctly. So that week that I was sick, I couldn't sing, so I was just like reading the lyrics to try to memorize them. So it was a weekend of the week before I had to fly out. So I'm feeling good. Like Sunday, I'm feeling like, I'm recovering. And Monday, I'm feeling good. I'm like feeling better. I was like, okay. And I'm singing the songs.
Yeah.
I'm in my booth, just singing my songs like a lot. I was singing a lot.
Hurricane destined to make landfall with Thursday.
Yeah. The day, Thursday. No, so Friday, I was flying out on Friday. Mm-hmm. So the hurricane was supposed to hit on Friday.
Well, yeah, late Thursday night, Friday morning.
Right, yeah. So I contacted management and I said, listen, I think it's probably better if I fly out on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. That way I'm there, because the hurricane's going to be here. They're going to shut everything down. I won't be able to fly on a Friday. So they were like, fine. I was like, oh, cool. So change it. I'm like, all right. I'm like, so, and I at this point, I felt ready. Like
now you're on the excitement train.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you're not as stressed and, you're more excited now.
Right. Yeah. I was excited and looking forward to it, but scared to death at the same time. Because these are tough songs to sing.
Well, yeah.
And when you're, it really, what was worrying me more is the audition process. I didn't want to be this American Idol bullshit. I was just like, oh my God, if it's like that, I'm just, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm going to pull my hat down and keep walking by the room.
I'm just like, you can't do this. This is ridiculous. But anyway, that was just me in my head. Yeah. So on Wednesday is when I had contacted them and I said, I should probably fly out on Thursday, and they said, okay. So I was like, okay. So Wednesday night, I come home and my throat was sore from singing so much, right? Because I was singing these songs over and over and over. Because it's not just learning how to sing them and sing them well, but I had to memorize the lyrics. Yeah. I mean, there was just a lot, 10 songs, and really I only knew 4, the 4 hits. Yeah. Those are the only ones that I was familiar with. The other ones are completely new. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh man. So
I knew them.
Yeah, well. So, did you know there's a pumpkin here, by the way?
I did.
It's for Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Spank that.
Ooh. I have a carving idea.
So anyway, on Wednesday night, before dinner, my wife's like, how's your throat? I was like, it's okay. I mean, I sang during the drive home from work. I was like, I'm just a little sore. She said, well, I'm making some bone broth, and I think this will be good for your voice. And she's right. I've had it before. It does coat your throat, and it's bone broth that's good for you. So I had this bone broth, and within 15-30 minutes, my stomach was cramping so bad. I felt so... I wasn't like sick, but I was just like, oh, that feeling, like that just gross feeling.
Like you just ate a bag of crystals.
Yeah, exactly. So
I like crystals.
So and this is before dinner. I was like, I can't eat dinner. I was like, I just don't feel like I can eat anything. And I was just feeling weak. It was weird. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Well, yeah.
So, and I was nervous because the next morning I had to get up early, like at 6 o'clock.
See, the excitement was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to go. And now you're like, huh.
No.
It's like, it's subsided.
Yeah. So then So then I went to bed because I didn't feel good. 6 o'clock comes along where I have to get up. I was like, okay, this is it. I get up, put my feet down from the bed to get up, and I almost fell over. My head, I was spinning. Like I was like literally, the room was just spinning, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And I was nauseous.
Well, of course you
were.
Like why wouldn't you be?
Maybe I was pregnant. I don't know. It was just so weird. So I feel really, really sick, really, really nauseous. But I was, I was like, I need to get ready.
Yeah.
I can't. I
gotta go.
I gotta catch this plane. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to throw up. And then the other end, air is just a disaster. Just trying to leave the house, and I was just like, oh my gosh,
this can't be happening.
Oh man, and I was going to bed like reading the lyrics, trying to get them in my head, and so anyway, so I got up in the morning and I was just so sick. Like I don't remember ever being this sick. Like I just couldn't walk. I was like walking sideways like that. I couldn't. Yeah. So then I was like, whatever. So we got in the car and Chrissy drove me to the airport and I couldn't eat anything. So I was like on an empty stomach. I'm walking around, the airport like trying to walk straight.
Yeah.
So I had to tilt my head this way because I was leaning to the right. So I'm just kind of trying to keep.
I would have been like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
And it was weird because I was like, okay, do I go to the doctor, like emergency room? Is this something serious?
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt nauseous. So I was just like, maybe it's probably that bone broth.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so I get a banana, at the airport, and it made my stomach feel a little bit better. I get on the flight. I land on Nashville. I go to my hotel. I crash. Like I just lay in the bed because I'm spinning. I'm literally holding on to the bed.
Still spinning.
That's how fast I feel like I was spinning.
Mm.
So I was texting, with Chrissy, and she's trying to figure out, what's going on. So she's like, I'm going to order you some stuff, like, stuff for vertigo or whatever, and for nauseousness and all this stuff, and I'll have it delivered to the hotel. So I was like, okay, fine, just let me know when I need to go down. So she texts me, like, it's being delivered. So I go down to the lobby, and I'm just sitting there in this couch, just spinning, just like I was just holding on. I mean, I'm surprised I could even walk from point A to point B. That's how bad I was.
You probably looked drunk.
Probably, yeah. So I'm sitting there and waiting for the delivery, and in comes walking Scotty and Rob, which is the guitar player and the drummer. And they recognized me right away. They're like, "Hey, blah blah blah." I can't remember what they said because I was just busy trying to hold
You're like,
still.
Hello, what are you?
I'm like, what? So it was cool. I met them there, and we had a like a 5-10 minute chat. We were just chatting about different stuff, and actually that was good because it made me less nervous than just walking into an audition.
Yeah.
So I talked to them for a little bit, and they went back up to their room, and the delivery wasn't getting there. So I go back to my room, and just lay down, and then now the delivery. So I go back downstairs to get this delivery of miracle medicine, hopefully, right? And
it's like Miracle Max from Princess Bride. Have fun storming the castle.
So while I'm waiting for that, then in comes Dave Snake.
Yeah.
The other guitar player. So I started talking with him, and I had to tell him that I had vertigo, or that I was just spinning, that I've been sick, and because he was looking at me weird, so I had to explain myself.
Yeah.
I had to listen.
I'm not on drugs, man.
He's probably like, what? Are you from freaking drug? It's like, what? It's early in the morning. So anyway, so I had to explain to him what's going on. He understood, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he went up to his room, and I waited. I got my stuff, went back to my room, and the stuff that I got helped a little bit. Was, I didn't feel as nauseous after all the natural stuff that she got me.
God, so weird. Spinning, and you go to throw up. I mean, you got to lean to the side because you're spinning.
It is.
If you do that, then you're going to get it on the side of your face.
I've never
so
had that.
Odd.
And you know what? It's been a month since that. I still have it. I still have the vertigo. It's very slight, and it's getting better. The improvement is so small day by day, but it's getting better.
That's why our last show we did jump, and there wasn't a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
He would have fallen over.
Yeah, the first show we did at the alley, I was holding onto my mic.
I know.
I was spinning. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And
the last weekend that we played at Good Times.
Yeah, Good Times.
And Brad was standing in front of the stage. I'm like, go kick him. Well, anyway, I'm like, go kick him, because Sterling, Pedro, and I were on stage. So he goes to kick him, and he turns around, and he's like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just lifting the leg and doing that movement.
Yeah.
Threw him off.
It's really weird. Yeah. It's like it was my right side. Like, if I turn really quick, like, I could feel it right now.
Yeah. Well, don't do that.
So yeah, I mean, it feels kind of cool now. It's like getting out for a ride.
Yeah.
It's like it's like those crystals, right? Those crystals in your ear canal.
It's some kind of equilibrium thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know how this whole freaking thing started, because I'm convinced there was something in that bone broth. She's poisoned me, man. She's trying to kill me.
She's trying. She's doing it slowly.
Yeah. So there was something on that, the slight food poisoning, and I was sick the week before.
Sure.
So I probably still have something, in my ears, whatever. But it was
a lot of stuff going on.
And plus the stress. There was a lot of. It's like the perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
So
George Clooney movie, 1993.
Oh my gosh. And during this whole time, I was racing the hurricane.
Yeah, so you're going away from
right. I was going away from it.
It's like, hey, there's a hurricane back there.
Yeah. So anyway, that was on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So Thursday, I was able to review all of my songs in the hotel and just kind of go over everything. I had met their sound tech team too.
Oh, okay.
They came in, they recognized me. I was just like, okay, maybe they review everybody that's coming.
Sure.
They were really nice. So that night I just basically, just rested, and went over
got
the music.
Ready.
Yep, got ready. Then Friday came along, and I think my audition was set to like 6, something like that. And I don't eat before I sing.
Oh, I know.
So I got up early. Well, I was up anyway, but I got out of my room early, and I went to eat something like around, I don't know, maybe 11:45, because I was performing in my room, going to the thing. So I ordered like a turkey sandwich, something like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat this. This is my last meal, because at 6 I got to sing.
Yeah.
Right? I take 3 bites, and I get a text, and I was like, hey, can you do the audition now? I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. And I'm still spinning, and probably because I hadn't eaten in like 2 days. Yeah. So I'm trying to get food, and I'm like, okay. So
now you're like fighting malnutrition.
Right. So it's like, I was like, okay, if I eat, I'm probably going to get the stupid GERD bullshit that I have. And I won't be able to sing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't eat, I'm probably going to faint, because I'm already halfway fainting from this. So I was just like, oh shit. So I think I had juice or something. I don't know. I couldn't eat it. So, so at this point, I'm really nervous.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, this is it. So, I have to take an Uber to the rehearsal place. So I get there, and I walk in. All the guys are there. I met all of them except Rachel at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was the one who kind of, when I walked in, he was sitting there. So I met him, and we got to chatting, and they were really, really nice. I got to say they were all very down to earth, So we just sat and talked for a little bit about just stupid shit, just like we do in Rocketfly, talk about stupid stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what guys do.
That's what guys do. Yep. And since Dave already knew that I was sick, I kind of explained to everybody. It's like, listen, I'm not coming here saying that my dog ate my homework type of thing. I really am sick. I really been sick, and I'm gonna do this. But if I fall down, it's because I'm losing my balance.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's cool, blah 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 blah. So anyway, so they're like, what do you want to do? I was like, I had a list printed out.
You're
I was
like,
like, let's go down the list.
ready to go.
Let's do it. And they're like, oh, okay. So, so we started going down the list, and the first song that we played was a what's the name of the song? It's a song they started their show with, the fast one. What's the name of it?
Riot?
Huh? No.
Riot?
No.
Slave to the Grind.
Slave to the Grind.
Mm-hmm.
Slave to the Grind. It was very surreal because I'm standing there, and Skid Row is like right here, and they're starting to play that song. I feel like I should turn around and watch the concert.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, all right,
you guys are great.
Like,
oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like, wow, they're playing Slave to the Ground. I got to hear this. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to sing it.
Yeah.
So they start playing the song, and I'm just like, all right, this is it. Let's do it. So I had to stand, my regular stance that I do. Yeah. So I had to really widen my stance because I was spinning. Yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't move much because I didn't have my in-ears. They didn't have in-ears, which is another thing that I was worried about.
Right.
They had the wedges, so I had to kind of put my ear kind of sideways like that.
Yeah. I'm sure it was still good though.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
the rehearsal space, it's a rented place, but it was huge, ginormous. You could fit a plane in there, And the sound guys were doing everything up front. So it sounded good. Played the first song, and I thought it went well. And they were like, that sounded good. And I was like, okay, cool. So I started feeling a little bit more comfortable, You're
like, all right.
I'm like, okay, until Quicksand Jesus came along.
One of my favorites, by the way.
Great song, great. As soon as Dave started playing that guitar, I was just like, oh yes.
Like, that sounds just like the record.
Great song.
They're the ones that wrote it.
Yeah. So we went down the set, and they seemed happy. They were like, that's really good. And I was like, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So we got to the set, and they asked some questions after the set. I don't know. I can't even remember. I was kind of like there but not there.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to not fall over.
Right.
And then I was trying to perform well or sing well, and trying to gauge what they were feeling.
And trying to be cool, man.
Yeah, trying to be cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but it really, from what I remember, it just felt natural. It just felt like I was just jamming with musicians. It wasn't like I wasn't starstruck or anything like that.
Right.
It
sounds like they helped set you at ease by just being cool.
Absolutely.
And not, some of the people we've met, like at the NAMM shows and stuff, they're very cool.
Yeah.
So.
They seemed,
awesome.
They were really, really, really cool. So, after audition, I felt relieved because I felt like I sang all the songs pretty good. I mean, I might have missed a few things here and there, but I don't think that's what they were going for. They were going
for to see if you sounded as good on the last song as you did on the first one.
Right, exactly.
Because it is a lot.
It is a lot.
So they were looking at that. They were looking, like you said, your tone, breathing, things like that.
And the other thing that kind of taxed your nerves is they were recording the whole thing.
Oh, of course they were.
It's like the camera, they ching, 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 blinking red. Hey, by the way, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what am I gonna do? I'm here.
You're there.
I'm here.
You're playing with Skid Row.
Absolutely.
You're not like playing a Skid Row song.
No.
You're playing with Skid Row. That's a lot different.
Yeah, exactly. And who gets that opportunity?
I didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't call me to go up there and sing with them.
Good thing. And I made sure I was like, thank you. Thank you for having me here, because this is awesome, Yeah. I get to just jam with friggin' Skid Row.
Yeah.
With a possibility to maybe
who knows?
Maybe play with you guys. So anyway, so we finished the set, we talked a little more, whatever, and then the sound guys were going back to the hotel, so I drove back with them. Mm-hmm. They're like, we'll take you back. So they took me back to the hotel, and we, I went back to the room. I was just like,
thank God.
Okay, this is over. Tomorrow I'm flying back home.
I can just lay here.
Yes.
Try not to be dizzy anymore. Hey, where's that turkey sandwich?
Yes. I had it in the fridge. That's the first thing I did. I was... it was all cold and disgusting, but I didn't care. I was so hungry. Yeah. So I went back to my room. I was like, oh my God, it's over. I did good. I felt good. Like, I was just like, oh my God, this whole thing, this past couple of weeks has been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I was still dizzy, But I didn't feel nauseous or anything like that. I was just hungry, so I ate my turkey sandwich, and I just laid in bed for a little bit, and then I get a text.
Dun dun dun.
I was like, what? I get a text from one of the sound guys that I've been texting back and forth. They're the ones who've been telling me, where to go and all that stuff.
Sure.
And they're like, they want you to come back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, for what?
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, so I'm like, okay. They're asking, what time's your flight leave and everything. So I look up and I was like, well, I can move my flight later. They just needed like an hour. I had no idea that. I just thought maybe they wanted to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, although we talked, they didn't really get that deep into things. They just asked just random questions. So I figured, well, maybe they just want to just pick my brain to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure. So I delayed my flight till like later the next day, and so that was on a Saturday. Yeah. So on Saturday I go back out there, and everybody's there, and I was just kind of chatting, just kind of waiting to see what we're gonna do. Thankfully, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get up early and just warm up my voice in case I have to sing, because I didn't know I had to sing.
Yeah.
I mean,
they didn't say you want to come back and do another set.
I didn't know. They just wanted me to come back. When they said, we need an hour, then I was like, they probably want me to sing. That's what gave me the clue, because it takes me a long time to warm up.
Yeah. And
you have to be warm up to sing Skid Row. There's no other way around it.
I would think so.
Yeah. So I got up early Saturday and just, did my warm-ups, sang the songs a couple times, blah, blah, blah. And I went back to the rehearsal, and then we went through the whole friggin' set again. I was like, okay, I'm good with that. I mean, why not?
It was another test, even though it wasn't a test. It was like, let's see if you can do it.
If you can do it again, 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I felt like I did better.
Yeah.
Probably because I was already warmed up from the previous day. Because you know how it is. Like sometimes when you get a show that's like 45 minutes, it's like that's enough time to get warmed up. You almost need like a long set to kind of get.
Well, even when we do weekends, I always feel better on Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But anyway, so we performed the whole set again, 10 songs. The only difference that I notice in my spinning logic is that their producer was there from their last record, so maybe they wanted him to see me, just kind of his opinion. I mean, he's worked with everybody.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was enjoying the show. I mean, he was a Skid Row fan too, so he was just like playing air guitar, and all the guys are like, it sounded really good, I nailed the Quicksand Jesus scream at the end. I was just like, I got it, So
maybe they should have that the Rocket Fly set.
So everything was, I feel like it went better the second time. Probably because I wasn't as nervous and I was more warmed up.
Your anxiety has really gone down.
Right.
At that point.
Yeah. And I felt a little bit better. I was still spinning, but I didn't feel as nauseous or sick, So maybe that was why it felt better for me. But anyway, so we finished and we talked again. They all, they were like, that sounded really good, blah, blah, blah. We have other guys to go, to audition, blah, blah, blah. And we'll let you know, at some point. I'm like, okay, take your time, whatever. So that was it. So I go straight to the airport and I fly back home. And that was my adventure. That's do it.
All right, that's enough of that.
So anyway, so it was fun. It was.
I'm sure.
It was a cool experience, and thank you to Blanda for getting me that little insight in there. The guys are really, really cool.
They come to town. Maybe Rocket Fly can open for them.
Maybe. You never know. So anyway.
So when you were doing this, I dug something up.
You did.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is a cassette tape.
Let me see that. Look at that. This is a great album, by the way.
So good. Here I am. So it made me think when I got this out, I'm like, back in the day, we
Wait,
used to make.
How long ago?
Well,
Oh, I do remember that.
you remember the gold Maxells?
Yes.
Now, I made some mixtapes. I don't have my. Oh, there they are. I don't know what's on here. Oh boy, rock and roll hoochie coo, feeling all right.
Wow, that's going way
Pretty
back.
Woman.
Did you put a year on that?
No,
We need carbon dating on this.
no year, but I did. This is how old they are. Oh well, here's another one. Remember TDK?
Oh my gosh.
This one I called Acoustic and Awesome.
You were definitely more organized than I was.
But check this out. Kind of weird. You ready? The very first song on Acoustic and Awesome. Where'd it go? Oh,
it
no.
faded from the years of sitting there.
Oh, no, it's on this one. I'm sorry. It was just a different one. This is another mixtape. The very first song, this is called Mellow Rock and Roll. The very first song is 18 in Life.
Oh wow.
It's hard to read.
Yeah, it's fading.
Yeah.
Well, that was what 30 years ago.
Let's
see your
at least.
Yeah, it's got to be like 30 years.
Yeah. And then there was this TDK. I don't even know if those are companies anymore. And then this, ladies and gentlemen, is called a K-single.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I brought this one in honor of my wife because that was the first concert she ever saw. Color Me Bad. I Adore Mi Amor. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cassette tapes. Because everybody's going back to vinyl.
Yeah.
That's like a big deal now. Nobody's going back to cassette tapes.
Because then you have to take a course on.
Oh yeah.
Dissecting the cassette tape and put a little tape on there and then rolling.
You remember what? I was gonna say. You remember what you had to do with a pencil?
Oh yeah.
That's how you rewound it.
Yep.
You remember how we used to get our favorite songs, the new song that came out? We'd have to listen to the radio.
Oh yeah. You have to sit there and
we'd wait.
Yeah.
Mick Dolan, our friend, still in town. We'd have to wait. We'd have our fingers on play and record.
Yeah.
They'd be talking.
Yeah.
Stop talking. I want to hear the whole song, man. Anyway, just showing my age. So, anything come out of the Skid Row thing?
Yeah. So finally, like not too long ago, last week or the week before, I got a call from management.
Okay.
And they basically said, thank you for coming, thank you for being prepared, blah 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 blah. They really liked you, but they're going to continue looking for a singer.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. That was a lot of fun. Too bad I was friggin' sick the whole friggin' time. Oh man. So it didn't.
But they're continuing to look.
I believe that's what they're. Yeah.
But that wasn't a no. That just means they're going to keep looking. And they may want you to come back again and do another one.
I have a feeling.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I did what I needed to do, and that's good enough for
you
me.
freaking sang with Skid Row.
Absolutely.
2 sets.
2 sets. 2
Same
days.
set, but 2 sets.
2 sets. Yeah, and they had me learn 8 songs. I learned 2 extra ones. I learned one of their new ones because I wanted to play a new song, a new version of Skid Row.
Brown nosing.
No, I wanted to do it. I was like, I want to perform, something new that they wrote.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did that. I have a feeling that what they're, I may have been okay vocally wise, but my feeling, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I think what they're looking for is somebody with a lot of touring experience.
Oh, that could very well be.
You know what I'm saying? So
because of the last guy and like the whole health thing.
Well, they've had a lot of issues with singers. And, and the last guy that they had, Eric, he's great singer.
Amazing.
They met him on tour, so he already had touring experience. He was touring with that band for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and Skid Row they like to play a lot. So I think, and if I was, and I put myself in their shoes, I was like, you know what, I probably want to be thinking that way too.
Yeah.
At least for now. I mean, I don't know. They just put out a new live album, so I'm sure once they find a singer, they probably want to.
They're gonna want to go and support that.
Yeah.
And get people talking again.
Not saying that I couldn't do it, but being them and this is a business, they have to be sure.
Of course.
They have to be sure that the person can.
Because they don't want to do the process.
This again, exactly.
I'm sure it wears on them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
So
I think it's just amazing, though, that you had that opportunity.
Absolutely. It is one of the scariest things I've ever done as far as my musical. Like Kristen was asking, I said, what's the scariest thing you've done in music? Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't know, maybe the Skid Row thing. And I thought, I was like, no, I did something scarier than this. You know what that was? I performed in front. I think the stadium was full. I think there must have been 7,000 people there. 7,000 people like there at the Shamu show.
Oh yeah,
I did the performance there
with
Richie Compton.
Yeah, Richie Compton. Yeah.
So it was his.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah, it was his show, and first of all, I don't think I've ever performed in that many people. At one place like that. I mean, Bike Week, but that's all spread out.
Yeah.
But they're all there. But what really scared me, it was, a couple of things. Singing those weird animal songs. It's just like weird SeaWorld songs. Let's talk to the animals, whatever it was. So I had to learn these songs. They were so weird. So the stage is like, it's just like a walkway.
Right.
And the tank is right there with the whales.
I was going to say that the tank is in front of you, right?
Right there.
Yeah.
So the whales would jump during the show, and they'd just be like right in front of you.
You're like, it's so much bigger in person.
Oh my gosh. So
That's a big animal.
So I'm trying to sing these songs, and I'm just like, I'm scared of heights, so I'm trying not to look down. But then the whale comes up, and I have to look down, just
Yeah, make sure you don't fall in the water with the freaking killer whales.
So that gig was pretty scary. I mean, just overall.
Yeah.
And then this, I think the Skid Row would not have been that scary if I wasn't sick.
No.
I was just so worried because I was sick.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
I didn't have full control of my voice.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it did work out.
Yeah.
Like I was able to do it, but in my mind, I was just like, I'm probably, I'm not at 100%. This is not good. But anyway, in my eyes, it went great. Yeah. And just because I wasn't picked, big deal. But
I mean the experience alone.
Yeah.
And good things could still come out of it.
And they have. I can't talk about it now, but something has come out of this whole experience. I just need to follow it and see where it takes me.
Cool.
I can't talk about that now, but maybe later.
What a tease. Jeez, blue balls.
Oh, yeah. But it was cool.
Yeah.
It was...
and maybe there'll be some Skid Row songs in the Rocket Fly set.
Absolutely. I had to learn those friggin' songs. We better play them now.
Well, let's just play them all. All the ones you learned.
That's what I
maybe
say.
We should ask them.
Yeah.
Put up a list of the songs.
I was going to say they're probably going to ask, what songs did you learn?
Oh, well, there you go. These.
Those songs. All right, we better end this. I think we may have to split this in two
That's
episodes.
Okay. Right? It's a pretty damn interesting story.
It is a story. It was, yeah.
I mean, this is something that
is crazy, right?
It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, this is, I think I've got their first album, that same one, because I think it's on my wall. But I'm such a dork. Everybody knows that. But I made a collage, a Skid Row collage, on poster board.
Yeah.
It's in my drum room.
Oh, you still have it?
Oh, yeah. And the one video that they put out, I laughed my ass off. It's called "Oh Say Can You Scream."
Oh, yeah.
It was just a document. Well, it was before documentaries were real popular, but it was a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff of their tour in Japan. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah, I remember. I remember when I was auditioning with Skid Row, I was talking with Snake, just having a chat with him, and so their producer had a rat shirt on,
Yeah.
And they were, you know, exchanging whatever. I couldn't really hear.
Yeah.
I was spinning. But I asked, so I said, you like Rat? You know, and he's like, yeah, I love Rat. I was like, oh, because I love Rat too.
Oh yeah.
I grew. That's, you know, when you say posters, my room is all full of Rat.
Oh yeah.
And I did the same thing. I had the cardboard and I had all kinds of pictures of Rat. And we started talking about Rat and how he mentioned that Warren DeMartini. What did he say? He said, like, Warren DeMartini showed somebody, like, he broke down. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what it was. He was showing another guitar player, or what's the guitar player for Ozzy?
Zach?
No, there was
Randy.
Randy.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that Warren DeMartini broke down Randy's playing on how he played a song to this other, and I think he said it was Jake Lee.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
he
can
was
see that.
he was showing Jake Lee. He
Yeah.
was breaking all the Randy Rhoads and showing Jake Lee how to play him. I was like, what? Warren DeMartini?
I could see that. Well, we met both of them at the same time at the NAMM
right.
show.
Yeah.
And hope Jake's doing well.
Oh yeah.
He got shot or something.
That's crazy. He got shot at like 2 a.m. or something walking his dog.
Yeah.
It's
Got to
like, how
carry,
random
man.
is that?
Got to carry, man. I got these.
All right, we better cut it.
All right. Thank you guys.
Yes. Hope you found this
Like
interesting.
and subscribe. We got some big time guests coming up
Yes.
in the next couple months. We're really excited about.
If we could just figure our technology over here, I think we got it. Hey,
I
think we got it.
Okay.
We'll have to test it out, but
we're
got
going to do some tests. We're going to get some people on here.
Yeah, and we're going to be on a podcast. We're going to be guests on another podcast.
Yeah, that's coming up.
I think in a couple of weeks, so we'll let you know when that's at, and hopefully that's
November.
I don't know.
13th.
That's not a good number.
Well, it's a Wednesday.
All right. Happy Halloween if we don't have another.